Hello internet. It's been a while since I put a video up, but I wanted to show you the new addition. It's not running yet, but this is a 1958 Ford 861 Power Master, and it's a tractor I've been looking for a long time. It just needs just a little work. I don't think it'll take much, but it's a perfect fit out here. High horsepower, over 60 horsepower, and live PTO in a small frame. Live hydraulics as well. It's a perfect tractor. We got to get that exhaust off the bottom like we did with the other Fords and get it vertical. But other than that, shouldn't take too much. Have a brother in Missouri that hooked me up, so good deal on that. We'll go over here, and it's basically a Power Master. There's our old New Holland baler. Is not much different than this 660, but it's just got a lot more ponies. So pretty awesome, and we'll get there. I'll make some more videos on that for sure, and then of course the trusty old 8M. But come on, William, let's show them what we've got going on here.
Crackle.
Yeah. So it is May 20th, and we've been busy. Visited some family, and there's our solar panel wagon. Hayfield's taken off. We'll be baling it soon. Just give you a kind of an update. We don't have any bottle calves yet, but they're coming as well, so that barn will be completely full. We did have another calf, and I don't think I shared that with anybody either. 46. Finally had one. That's the heifer calf. I don't know where that other one's hanging out at. Do you see the other calf, William?
No.
There it is. Yep, so this one was born, not even 2 weeks ago. Get out of the way, 81. But yep, doing pretty good on calves so far. So we'll keep it going. One of the things that we do, we've got a lot of little side hustles, I guess is what they call it now. But we also mow lawns for side money. So this is used to be a hopper wagon, and the top I gave to a buddy that needed it, and we didn't need it anymore, so it was kind of a no-brainer. But it had good tires and good running gears, but it was really short. And when you've got small equipment and stuff like us, it's, you don't need ginormous anything. So I put an extension to make it 12 foot, and then all this lumber is scrap lumber from the factory that I work at. And then when we did our barn remodel, I kept the door when we refaced that barn, and the door's going to be the top deck once we get all the angle iron cut to screw that lumber down. So almost free hay wagon, which is pretty cool. Let's keep moving, William. We got lots to update. Since we've been visiting and traveling, and then this weekend we're also going to be visiting some Army buddies up in Wisconsin. We still don't have our garden planted yet, but we got it tilled, so we're getting there. And we usually put, not usually, we always put the weed barrier down, so it can be a lazy man's garden, but we're not quite there yet. We did move most, if not all, of our started plants outside of the greenhouse. So we've got all of our started plants, and we're good to go there. Here soon we'll put a shade cloth on top of the greenhouse, but yeah, it's pretty empty in here. I guess we still have some leek and some other stuff going, but and some trees and blueberry plants, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty empty in here. Doesn't look the same. Yesterday we did, I sprayed some of our fruit trees. So like this is a pear tree. You can see they're starting to come on a little bit. And usually we'll get the ugly ones that are for sale or for free. This is a cherry tree. It came with the house. This is also a cherry tree. The house did have, this is a hackleberry tree. This one was really exciting. So I planted this not even that long ago. It's a plum tree and it's huge. If you see, like a lot of the time, like I'm not one to grind stumps or do any of that crazy stuff, but wherever there's a stump, I'll just put a fruit tree because I got to mow around it anyway. But yeah, this sucker, it's younger than William. So it's maybe 6 years old, 7 years old, and ginormous. It just really took off. All the ladies asking for grain across the street. And then every year we try to put a fruit tree down this lane. So this is a peach tree that's done really well. And I noticed it had some type of fungus or something going on and it didn't sprout up as much. There is a couple peaches on it. Like you can see a few of them. But I'm not a fruit tree guy by any means. You can see where we had the sheep in here and they were rubbing their winter hair off. But I sprayed it and it should be good. All the apple trees are doing good. There's tons of apples on them so far. You know, none of that late frost did anything to them. But the trees all kind of get smaller as they go down. Just because one a year. I think this one's a pear tree. And then I've got nectarine. I can't remember what this one was. And then I put another pear tree up. This one didn't get whatever fungus was on it, but I sprayed it anyhow. You can see the little pears are on there. Or sorry, peaches. But before we started fencing all this stuff in over here, when I first bought the property, before it was named Floodwater Farm, I started planting apple trees. I've always been interested in it. And I put 30 apple trees over here when this was all, I cut all the cottonwood out of it and everything before I thought, man, I can make this a pasture. And between the floodwater and the deer, out of 30 apple trees, and that was probably 13 years ago, that is the only surviving apple tree. We put a fence around it so our livestock wouldn't eat it, but there was another one right there that I thought would live. We just haven't cut it down yet, but it died. But out of 30, I guess know your property and know your surroundings. That was a lot of time and money that got wasted. That's the lone survivor. And we did make applesauce out of that last year. So that worked out pretty good. That's our sheep shed, or kind of like that hay wagon we built with just scrap, and it's turned out to be pretty good. But clearing this out was never intended to be a pasture, but it turned out pretty good. Not for the orchard anyway. But yeah, over here is a graveyard, and like I said, we get paid to mow it. We've got permission to put our livestock on it, but just as long as it's not around the gravestones itself, out of respect. So there's usually open area. So we have our rams and our calves and stuff from last year over here. And then one of the things that I don't know, a lot of people think we're probably weird, and most likely we are, but one of the things that I really enjoy is making money off of ditch grass. So the part of on the side of the road that is, Bessie, no, that is overgrown, and we have to pay county and state workers to mow it regularly. So our taxes go into this. So everybody's paying money for this. Same thing with cutting graveyards and stuff. And we've got actually several properties at this point So we asked permission, and everyone is more than happy to put sheep on ditch grass, because it has to be cut and mowed anyway. So, and this stuff will get really tall. It's canary grass. So we made a portable shelter that we can drag this year instead of assemble. And we just move them around and don't pay a dime. In this case, we're getting paid to graze our sheep and our livestock. Just with a cheap little Premier electric fence, they get the routine down. We had a couple lambs later this year, so as soon as they get weaned, the lambs will go. And then we're looking for a replacement ewe. So I think I might, just to get some genes back in there. We have crossbreds of crossbreds of crossbreds, and they're starting to get a little bit smaller in size. At least the females are. So I think I'm going to get either a full-blooded Dorper or Katahdin, and see if we can put a little more size on them. I don't want them to get too big like the full-blooded ones, but just a little bit bigger would be nice. But yeah, the labor part of it, there is some manual labor involved, but the end result is a lot of free food. We do bale hay, so that gets us through the winter. But we'll usually have them graze in ditches and even our own hay field until the end of December. But that's what we got going on. Oh, I wanted to show you one more thing. Come on, dogs. Wanted to show you one more thing real quick. Is we put a wood duck house up right there, and we actually have wood ducks in it. I'm not sure why there's a kiddie pool down there, but we've got a pair of wild geese in our pond as well. But it was kind of neat. As soon as we put a wood duck house up, we got wood ducks. Of course, they're not out here right now, but anyway, there's our update. Busy. We'll probably be making hay soon by the time I videotape again. Thanks for watching. Say thanks, William.
Thanks.
Oh, one last thing, internet, I forgot to mention. My wife got a free refrigerator, and if we couldn't be any more hillbilly, we've got self-service, very fresh and cheap eggs right on the front porch, and you can even Venmo and scan it. Of course, there's still Christmas lights out here, but anyway, yeah, if you've got the access to a cheap fridge, that is a really easy way to sell eggs. And if you're worried about dirty little scumbags, you can always put up cheap surveillance too. But anyway, have a great Sunday. Thanks for watching.